Hello, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Senior Innotech is very honored to be part of this National Orientation and Career Guidance Program. On behalf of Innotech, I would like to congratulate the Bureau of Curriculum Development for organizing this national orientation. I am here to provide an overview of the knowledge resources and career guidance for grade 10 that we jointly developed with BCD to support DepEd's learning continuity plan in this time of pandemic. So this morning, I will present the MCDP resources, which stands for Multiple Career Development Pathways, as well as the recently developed video on senior high school tracks and strengths, and how these resource materials can support the implementation of DepEd's career guidance program for this school year 2021 to 2022. In a short while, I will talk about Senior Innotech, the MCDP toolkit, the explainer video on senior high school tracks and strands, how we develop these knowledge products, the key features and components of these resources, and where to access these resource materials. And for those who are not yet aware of SIMIO, or the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, this is an umbrella organization of 11 ministries of education in Southeast Asia. It has 26 specialized institutions located in 10 countries in Southeast Asia that undertake training and research programs in various fields of education, science, and culture. The highest policy-making body is the SIMIO Council, which is composed of the education ministers. In this council, the Philippines is represented by DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones. And each regional center has a governing board composed of senior education officials from the 11 education ministries. Innotech, or the Regional Center for Educational Innovation and Technology, is dedicated to identifying common and unique education problems in Southeast Asia and developing innovative and technology-based solutions to address these problems. So why did SIMIO Innotech develop the MCDP toolkit? The Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 has ushered a massive reform in the Philippine Department of Education. It introduces the K-12 curriculum that aims to expand and improve the delivery of basic education in the country. And one of the hallmarks of the K-12 education reform is the institutionalization of the senior high school program, which broadened the goals of secondary education. And as stipulated in Basic Education Act, specifically in Section 17, the senior high school program aims to properly guide the students toward becoming productive and contributing individuals through informed career choices, and to develop the capability of career counselors and advocates to guide students and equip them with necessary life skills and values. Also, as stated in Section 18, it aims to guide secondary level students in choosing the career tracks that they intend to pursue. Acknowledging that there are not enough guidance counselors in public high schools, Innotech assisted DepEd by developing a resource that will aid classroom teachers who are serving as career advocates to guide students, beginning with grade 10 learners, in making sound and informed career choices, to guide them in selecting the appropriate tracks as they register for the senior high school program. The MCDP toolkit in particular provides teachers and career guidance advocates with basic tools and techniques in conducting career coaching activities for grade 10. It consists of career planning activities and assessment tools to help learners determine the available career options and identify possible pathways to reach their life goals. This is primarily designed for teachers as career advocates and learners, but also accessible, applicable for school heads and parents. It will help students gather information about themselves, about the labor market, educational institutions, and people around them to make informed choices about possible career pathways. It helps them identify possible senior high school tracks and strands and explore various career pathways and study plans to achieve their life goals. And how did Simyo Innotech develop the toolkit? We presented the concept paper in 2016 to the office of the Undersecretary, who was on top of the DepEd Senior High School and Career Guidance Program in DepEd. We also consulted the Youth Formation Division when the CGP was transferred to the Bureau of Learning Support Services. The center conducted series of consultations with career guidance and counselors from the academe like UST and De La Salle State University, and private organizations such as Career Development Association of the Philippines, Philippine Guidance Counseling Association, also Education.ph. And we consulted the technical experts from government representatives from the DepEd, TESDA, CHED, DOLE, the technical vocational education and training expert, or individual consultants, and even the Professional Regulation Commission. And at the school level, we conducted focus group discussions with San Pedro Relegation Center National High School. This is an innotech partner school. We discussed with teachers, learners, parents, and school head. And the FGD results revealed the following perceptions of high school teachers. According to them, career guidance task is an additional load, and teachers should be equipped before undertaking the crucial task and should find time to conduct the sessions. Teachers need a simple and easy to use source material on career guidance. Schools should provide required materials for CGP sessions and activities. And in the Philippine setting, family is one of the major deciding factors in choosing a career. Using a career portfolio will help students in making good career decisions. And this was followed by drafting of tools, materials, and session guides. Yes, with top experts and a technical working group to review the toolkit following the key principles of developmental guidance and counseling. And lastly, the last step, the toolkit was pilot tested prior to its finalization. And the pilot testing was done in 2 schools in different contexts. One in the province of Laguna at San Pedro Relegation Center National High School, and another in Manila. We piloted the toolkit at Rahas Sulaiman of Suleiman Science and Technology High School. We administered a survey for teachers and learners, conducted FGDs with teachers, learners, and parents, and school heads. They evaluated the MCDP toolkit based on clarity of instruction, appropriateness to career planning, ease of use and reproduction, organization or structure, and usefulness in choosing a senior high school track and strength. All the respondents validated that the MCDP toolkit is a valuable tool for career decision-making for grade 10. And majority of teachers and students strongly agreed on the effectiveness of the MCDP toolkit. They also like the fact that the toolkit is light reading and easy to use. Hence, the overall recommendation was to use MCDP toolkit as a supplemental resource material for grade 10 students. And what are the salient features of the MCDP toolkit? This toolkit is a simple and concise career planning material. It can be used out of sequence or on-demand basis. The teacher can start in any activity that are applicable to the level of abilities of the students. It highlights that career planning is an iterative or continuing process which can be repeated in other planning stage or grade levels. And the tools and materials are easy to reproduce. The toolkit is only around 50 pages back to back. And also it empowers teachers as career advocates. The most important thing. Please note that the use of the tools depends on the teacher's assessment of the student's level of readiness. They can develop their own session guides, and teachers can identify their own strategies in using the toolkit. It could be delivered in 2 sessions, or 3 sessions, 4 or 5, or so on, depending on the assessment of teachers in terms of the required time duration. And the MCDP toolkit has 4 components. There is this quick summary guide for career advocates. There are set of activities and tools, specific set of instructions per activity. We call the activity guides, and sample session guides developed by the teachers themselves. The assessment tools contained in the toolkit is aimed to help students achieve the career development pathways or outcomes as outlined in this matrix. As you see, for each learning outcome or learning objective, there are recommended set of tools that career advocates may use. This matrix, shown here, will guide you as career guidance advocates in planning and facilitating the CGP activities with your students. And for component 2, the toolkit features an introduction and 4 main activities. And as listed here, there are 13 tools, different tools that can aid students on career planning to achieve their goals for employability and career success. The introduction part focuses on visioning, identifying goals that give the students a sense of direction. For activity 1, this guides the students to discover and rediscover themselves and to better understand their interests, talents, and values. Activity 2 will help guide students in identifying possible senior high school track and related career options based on their interests, talents, and values. Activity 3 will provide the factors to consider in choosing a career. This includes the reality or the actual skills requirements for a certain career as a factor to be considered. Students will also be asked to respond to questions like, do I have the necessary skills for my chosen career? What skills do I need to develop or improve on? Can my family afford to send me to school? Or can my family afford the course I want to take? Activity 4 is about putting all the pieces of information together and finally coming up with prospective career options, beginning with a preferred senior high school track. The MCDP start contrast to other CGP modules that it presents new relevant tools like the career wheel, my family and my career choices, and career pathways portfolio. These are tools which were found to be necessary by the teachers themselves during the pilot testing, the learners, and the parents during the validation and tryout phase. Okay, so that's the set of activities and tools. This table shows the comparative CGP activities as conducted by the pilot schools. It compares the common and different activities from the DepEd CGP manual for grade 10 and the MCDP toolkit. And as applied in the San Pedro Relocation Center National High School, they tried to use the MCDP toolkit in a pure and blended approach. Some teachers use the MCDP toolkit in the pure sense, and others use the combined activities and tools from the MCDP toolkit, and some were taken from the DepEd's CGP manual developed in 2015 for grade 10. A sample here, tool number 5, which is encircled, the career wheel, shows that it can be used in examining the destinations in terms of tracks or strands or career pathways of students. Other new tools include, as encircled here, tool number 6, My Family and My Career Choices. These will be used for goal setting and grounding, or examining the destinations with the participation of parents or guardians or caregivers, because culturally speaking, they are important stakeholders in their children's career decision making. Another tool that is encircled here is the Career Pathways Portfolio, or tool number 10. And tool number 13 are for the MCDP career map. This can be used to connect the dots, of which refers to the information gathered from the different activities and from the filling up of the forms of the tools. It will connect the different assessment results between education and career pathways, or charting your own course with the students. Okay, another sample activities and tools listed here is the activity on exploring career pathways. So for this activity, teachers as career advocates will use tool number 5, which is named as Senior High School Career Interest Clusters, and also the career wheel. This tool presents 6 career clusters, or groups of jobs or groups of occupations that require similar skills or shared on common characteristics. Students will be asked to choose a career cluster that best describes their inclinations, interests, and abilities by shading the statements listed under each cluster that they think will apply to themselves. And after completing the assessment tool on career interest clusters that was previously shown, students will be able to discover the cluster that applies to them. In this example, the cluster with the greatest number of shaded statements corresponds to cluster B, or the sports track, as shaded here in red. This means that the student is inclined or has the aptitude for sports. He or she may also choose cluster D, shaded red, or the accountancy, business, and management as another senior high school track option. Now let's go to the career wheel. As shown in this slide, this tool will help students decide on a future career and a prospective senior high school track. The career wheel displays the different career pathways and related senior high school tracks and strands. And there are different ways of using the career wheel. One way is to look at the outer circle for a prospective career choice and then trace each corresponding senior high school track and strand. For example, if the student is interested in becoming an engineer, one of the options is to take the senior high school academic track, particularly the STEM strand. Another way to use the wheel is to focus on the track or the strand by locating the second or third circle. This means that students are shows that where students are most inclined to, and then they will just trace what career options are available for them after senior high school or college. And for example, if a student is inclined to take up the arts and design track, he or she may work as a draftsman or illustrator after senior high school, or put up a drafting or business shop. And upon completion of college, some career options that are available for him or her include being an architect or an interior designer. Yeah, that's just one example. For tool number 6, which refers to my family and my career choices, this will be used for goal setting and grounding activity. This will require the participation of parents or guardians or caregivers to determine their own perception and desired career path and expectations for their children. This activity will help parents realize if their chosen career or expectations would match with the personal choice, interests, and abilities of their children, and vice versa. And after responding to the reflection guide listed in this tool, or tool number 6, a dialogue between the parent and the child is encouraged. It is important to discuss what they have discovered, share their answers on the questions, and arrive at an agreement and discuss the needed support from parents in case a common decision has been made on the student's career plan or career choice. Each of the 4 main activities has a corresponding activity guide. Here is a sample activity guide, activity 4, which is about connecting the dots between education and career pathways. This is an integration activity wherein students are expected to develop their own career pathways portfolio and career study planner. They must put all the pieces of information together by completing the last 4 assessment tools so they can finally come up with prospective career options, beginning with the preferred senior high school track. And there are sample session guides that were developed and used by teachers during the pilot stage. And these are found in annex section of the MCDP toolkit. If you have a copy, it starts with page 47. The sample session guides are presented for each of the 5 main activities. And these can be used during your career planning session with students, or use these as reference in modifying or developing your own session guides. The MCDP toolkit is available for download, shown here, on the DepEd LRMDS and also at the innotech's website. And now let's go to the other knowledge resource, the recently developed MCDP explainer video. We also have repackaged the toolkit into a 6-part explainer video series, and it has an editable PowerPoint deck featuring the same activities and tools available at the printed toolkit, so that teachers may use and customize them based on learners' needs. And both resources are also available at the innotech's website. So why did we develop the explainer video on senior high school tracks and strands? Upon the turnover of the MCDP explainer video series, DepEd BCD requested for continuing technical support to each CGP program through the development of a supplementary explainer video on DepEd senior high school tracks and strands. As the BCD puts it, learning resources in video format have been proven effective in reaching out to more learners, especially during these challenging times when face-to-face classes is prohibited. The explainer video aims to support the effective cascading of the senior high school program in the fields, especially during distance learning implementation under the DepEd's basic learning continuity plan. Okay. Sorry. The explainer video on senior high school tracks and strands aims to widely disseminate the DepEd senior high school tracks and strands during career guidance orientations like this one for the incoming senior high school students and also for their parents. So what is this all about? This is a 34-minute explainer video in Filipino to ensure attainment of a wider reach to include learners, parents, and other school community stakeholders. It was designed for grade 10 learners and their parents, and it may be used as a supplementary resource material by teachers, career guidance advocates, guidance counselors, and the program supervisors during their orientation activities in relation to career guidance and counseling. So how did we develop this video? In starting February 2021, DepEd BCD has identified the development of a supplementary explainer video that provides a comprehensive overview of the senior high school tracks and strands, curriculum exits, and potential careers as a helpful complementary effort for the career guidance program. And in a series of consultation meetings, innotech and DepEd BCD agreed to use the Filipino language and agreed on the content and design of the explainer video. And in March 2021, innotech developed the explainer video, and we approved by approving the provision of joint technical assistance with BCD through the Educational Media Unit and Educational Innovation Unit of the Center. So jointly, we developed the explainer video anchored on the script that was actually written by the technical team of the BCD. And in June 2021, DepEd BCD accepted the senior high school video and officially rolled out each pilot version to the DepEd regional offices. And while waiting for the official uploading of the senior high school video to the LRMDS, BCD has widely disseminated the video through different channels, most accessible to the CGP field implementers for their immediate use, for their grade 10 CGP orientations. And they conducted it just before the end of the school year 2020 to 2021. We also conducted a user feedback assessment to help us gather comments and suggestions from the intended and expanded users of the explainer video. And we use the data gathered as basis for the further enhancement of the video. So we conducted this rapid assessment by way of conducting a half-day FGD with learners and their parents last August 6, 2021. And then we also conducted a nationwide online quick survey among teachers, career guidance advocates, guidance counselors, and program supervisors, which ran from August 2023 to September 10 this year. And we are yet to finalize the user feedback rapid assessment, but allow us to present to you the initial findings. So the FGD was participated in by a total of 18 participants comprising of 9 pairs of parents and learners from the Schools Division of Camarines Norte, Schools Division of Tacloban City, and Davao del Norte. So that's to represent Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And for more details, a total of 9,416 survey responses came in through the online quick survey. And however, after data cleaning, we remove responses who did not give their consent. So the valid responses we received were reduced to 7,199. Geographically, all regions were represented with regions 1 and 3 with the highest number of responses at 18% and 17% respectively. And in terms of respondents profile, out of the 7,199 online responses, 69% are teachers, 23% are school, career, guidance advocates, and 6% are school guidance counselor. Less than 1% constitute the division and regional guidance counselors and program supervisors. And the user assessment was based on three major indicators, no, or variables. The first one is the design and structure. We asked the parent, we asked the respondents to rate the video in terms of design and structure with the following sub-indicators: organization and structure, time allotment, transitions, production, and video format. The second criteria is on content and messaging, which is based on the following sub-indicators: content, engagement, quality, clarity, and appropriateness. And the third is on usefulness and impact, which is focused on senior high school tracks and strands, career planning, and complementation. We also asked the respondents whether they recommend the use of DepEd's explainer video as a medium to inform grade 10 learners and their parents about senior high school tracks and strands. And what are the findings? Based on the responses, 100% of the participants have agreed that the statements above pertaining to the identified indicators of a quality explainer video, except for the sub-indicator under content and messaging, which is quality. The senior high school video presentation of images, graphics, and text or captions are clear and in focus. The voice and music used are audible, which received 89% or 16 out of the 18 participants of the FGD who said yes, and 2 out of the 18 participants said no. The 2 participants who said no were both students. And overall, the respondents consistently affirmed that the design and structure of the senior high school video are presented in an organized, clear, and logical manner. They also acknowledge the explainer video can hold the viewer's attention and that the production and the video format are appropriate and accessible to all learners. And in terms of content and messaging, most respondents strongly agree that the desired and overall objectives and message of the MCDP toolkit or video were effectively and appropriately presented in the video format. In terms of usefulness, majority of the respondents strongly agree that the explainer video is found as a useful explainer video to effectively present the senior high school tracks and strands. They strongly agreed that the explainer videos serves as a supplementary and complementary resource for career planning for use by learners and their parents, as well as for career advocates, teachers, program supervisors, and guidance counselors. A high 98.59% or out of the 7,199 online respondents said that they would recommend the explainer video as a medium to inform grade 10 learners and their parents about the senior high school tracks and strands. In general, the explainer video is being recommended as a supplementary resource material to orient incoming senior high school students and their parents on the various senior high school tracks and strands to support the learners' career planning and development. The pilot version may be further enhanced for future rollout based on the feedback, comments, and suggestions submitted by respondents. The explainer video may be viewed from one of the DepEd BCD's YouTube channels, and this will be available on the LRMDS upon DepEd BCD's advice. And to sum up, the MCDP toolkit and the explainer video on senior high school tracks and strands were developed in cooperation with DepEd. Hence, we are confident that these knowledge resources are well designed and suited for you, career guidance advocates, to enable our grade 10 learners develop their own individual career plan and their own career portfolio, and eventually make informed career choices, for their future. Remember, the MCDP toolkit and the senior high school explainer video do not intend to be prescriptive tools. They intend to serve as guides and references to help students, together with you, teachers, as career guidance advocates, family, and community, to make better career choices and decisions that are crucial for developing a more vibrant economy in their respective communities or in your respective communities. The career choices they will make will hopefully be the ones that can greatly contribute to the socio-economic development of our country. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email. And please send this to Yoli and to Emmy, Miss Emmy Domingo, as the project manager for this knowledge resource development. With that, marami pong salamat, and I'm wishing you all success in your CGP activities. Bye.